Set in modern-day Iran, a separation is a story about the dissolution of a marriage that sets off a chain of events with disastrous consequences. Simin and Nadia still love each other, but are divided by the choices they wish to make. They are moderate Muslims who enjoy a successful life in Iran, but Simin is eager to leave its strict Islamic rule for the sake of their 11-year-old daughter, Terme. Simin has a visa to move abroad and wishes to leave immediately, whilst Nader feels honour bound to stay and look after his father, who has Alzheimer's. Simin seeks a divorce to gain custody of Terme, but Nader does not give consent. A judge refuses them a divorce, but allows a separation so they can work out their problem. Terme opts to stay with her father, in the hope that her mother will return. With Simin gone, Nader must hire someone to look after his father while he's at work. He immediately employs Razieh, a pregnant woman desperate for money, who must commute a long distance and bring her young daughter Somieh with her. As a deeply religious woman, Razieh needs to seek permission to touch the old man and change his soiled clothes. She has kept this job a secret from her husband, Hojat, an unemployed shoemaker and an angry and resentful man. In contrast to Simin and Nader, Razia and Hojat live a life of struggle with limited life options. Razia finds the job of carer so stressful, but Hojat has serious debts and troubles with creditors, so she must continue under increasing duress. One day, Nader returns home to discover his father unconscious on the floor, with one hand tied to his bed. Razia is nowhere to be seen, and the reason for this is not immediately known. When she finally returns to the apartment, Nader is furious, also accusing her of stealing money and then firing her. Razia defends her honour and demands to be paid. When Hojat discovers this, he sues Nader for murder, whilst Nader considers pressing charges against Razieh for endangering his father's life. The case must be heard in accordance with religious law, and the judge must untangle the complicated facts to weigh up right and wrong. Simin blames Nader for the miscarriage, and their relationship crumbles under the weight of their differences. Although maintaining his innocence throughout, Nader eventually agrees to pay Razia and Hojat blood money. But first he asks Razia to swear on the Quran that he caused her to lose the baby. This presents a religious dilemma for Razia. Razia had previously admitted to Simin that she had doubts about the cause of the miscarriage. Days before the incident with Nader, she was hit by a car when running after his father, who had escaped from the apartment. Knowing this, and now having doubts, Razia feels it would be a sin to swear on the holy book of Islam. Hojat pleads furiously with Razia to take the money because it will change their lives, but she refuses. Hojat falls apart under the strain. Throughout the conflict between the two families, Terme and Somieh witness their families fall apart. The story closes in the family court, where Terme is asked by a judge to decide which parent she wishes to live with. In his film A Separation, Asghar Farhadi presents a deeply complex moral tale and places the audience in the role of witness to the emotional events that take place. The film is set in modern Tehran, the capital city of Iran, a theocratic state that demands strict adherence to Islamic law. The story, which centres on the conflict between two families, highlights how the small things in life, details, facts, things said, half said, or unsaid, misinterpretations, a failure to communicate openly and deeply, ultimately result in doubt, mistrust, and the denial of responsibility. Although Farhadi's intention is to leave questions unanswered and situations unresolved, he aims to present issues related to the interrelationship between justice, morality, and religion, the interrelationship between rights and responsibilities, the factors that impact on speaking the truth, being heard, and understood in a society where laws can be interpreted in absolute rather than relative terms, the impact of doubt and suspicion on the integrity of all relationships, the impact of conflict on children, the struggle between progressive and traditional perspectives in modern life, and the consequence of moral choices, how conflict can arise when one person vigorously defends a moral action that another views as incorrect.